everyone, welcome to the second episode of the Ultimate Smart Home series, sponsored by two of my favorites, Philips Hue and Amazon. I'm your host, Justin Tech, and today I've got some really cool things to show you. First, I'm going to explore the command centers we've installed around the house for easy control over our smart home devices. I'll take you back to school and explain naming, programming, and pairing the smart home systems from episode 1 to save you from any future headaches. And I'll also get into one of the most important components of a smart home, security. The cameras, sensors, and alarm systems we're using to keep our house safe and connected while either home or away. And don't worry people, links to all the tech and systems I bring up in this episode will be in the description below. Enough tell, it's time to show. Let's do it.
Attention, we will be referring to Alexa throughout the series. So if you or a loved one are around an Echo or Alexa-enabled device watching this, you might want to turn off the microphone for the episode. Thank you, and enjoy.
Command centers are important to have in any smart home for two reasons. First, they give you a visual layout of all the smart home tech for quick control without needing to open up an app or use voice commands. Second, if you have visitors, they'll have just as much ease utilizing your smart home. Of course, the latter may be an issue if your know-it-all friend comes over and wants things their way.
For this weekend getaway, we're having absolutely zero green lighting because I'm told I have Shrek undertones. And then we're gonna make sure that Chromatica plays about every 2 hours to really set the mood.
Great, thank you so much, Max. Let's start with the Brilliant Smart Switch, which I absolutely adore so much
I've become one with it.
Brilliant is a smart switch hub that works with Alexa, SmartThings, Google Home, and HomeKit. It's a high-end, sleek, and elegant control that comes in several sizes. Not only does it control lights, but it's also a smart hub that can control basically anything we throw at it. Brilliant sliders act as both dimmers and on-off switches. The sliders can be programmed to control standard lights or smart bulbs like Philips Hue. They can also control your speakers. On top is a motion sensor. You can program this to have the screen and lights turn on or off based on motion. Unfortunately, right now, the lights only turn on from their last state, but I hope in a future update they introduce the ability to customize it for the time of day. Brilliant Screen is the main control center. You can customize the home screen for quick access to custom scenes, music, and cameras. There's music through Sonos. I have all of my playlists. When I press play, I can check the speakers that I'm playing it through, and I can even manage groups and decide which speakers I want to group up to play that song. The song will also show up on the main screen when it's not being used. Then there's access to all of my Brilliant cameras as well as my Ring cameras. When someone rings the doorbell, the video comes up and I can talk to them, although there's some awful feedback. You can hear us, can't you? You can also drop in on other Brilliant switches throughout the house from a switch, hey Toby, or from your phone. But don't worry, you can close the camera cover or turn this functionality off on the Brilliant app. I also have access to an intercom where I can do a home broadcast to every Brilliant device throughout the home or video chat or call specific Brilliant switches. Dinner is now being served. We also have access to our Philips Hue lights. Here's a list of the room that we're in, which is the master bedroom. I can change the brightness, I can turn them on and off, and then I can change rooms. Philips Hue is an open ecosystem, so while Brilliant isn't an official friend of Hue, they can still access all of my Philips Hue devices and scenes. You'll need a Philips Hue bridge to take full advantage of this. It's really nice to have all of my Hue scenes right on the device to access from. The Brilliant can also control your thermostat. We have it linked up with Ecobee, and we found that accessing this, you see how fast that was? It's even faster than the Ecobee app. And I really like that it gives us the up and down arrows rather than the slider. I just find it much more precise to control it that way. Brilliant also has Alexa built in, which is great, but I personally don't think the microphone is as good as an Echo device, so I like to put an Echo in the room for voice commands. Because Toby renovated the house, he had the luxury of placing switches wherever he wanted. So we specifically put this Brilliant switch higher so that way we don't have to slouch over, because normally a switch would probably be around there. I have barely scratched the surface with this thing, so stay tuned for a dedicated video on Brilliant and their brand new switches and plugs coming soon. Now let me show you a more DIY command center that gives you full control over customization, and that's ActionTiles. Here is our ActionTiles command center. This is another reason why we went with SmartThings, because ActionTiles directly feeds off of the SmartThings APIs, which gives us the ability to control all of our devices and scenes. ActionTiles is a system that works via an internet browser and can be presented on any computing device. You build the ActionTiles on the computer, and all of the changes are made in real time, so it's really easy to view your programming as you go. You can program the squares, choose the sizes, the colors, and the icons for when they turn on and off. This is all of our music, all of our Sonos speakers, and I can go into one of them individually, and I can press play or change the volume or play from a bunch of playlists. And above that is all of our security. We've got all of our windows and door sensors, which when a window or a door opens, Toby, open that door. It changes colors, letting us know that it's open. It also says it's open and the icon changes. And then when it closes, it will go back. And then on the right side is our alarm system, which we can turn our alarm on and off. It's a smart alarm system, which we'll get into later. If I click that, I'll have to put in a code, and I can change it to armed, and then it will be armed, it turns red. And then above is all the lighting that we want to control in this area. Unfortunately, right now, natively to ActionTiles, you can't set up groups. So like all of your living room lights, you can't control at one time. You have to do them individually. I know there are some ways on the internet that say you can, and that is phase 2 of our smart home. But for now, we have access to all of our lights, and as you can see, all of the icons are different. We made them so that we can easily see visually which one we're controlling. But don't worry, you can control multiple lights at the same time using your SmartThings scenes. You can also create multiple tabs and screens to control different rooms. That way you can throw one at your bedside and just have those controls on the screen. There is so much more to ActionTiles. I couldn't fit everything in this episode, so stay tuned for an episode in the future where I will take a deep dive. Now that we've had our fun with some cool tech, let's head over to Smart Home 102, where Mr. Tech will teach you the science of creating rooms, zones, groups, routines, and scenes. Yeah, a lot of words and many differences. Hey everyone, it's me, your stunningly beautiful, ultra modest teacher, Mr. Tech. Last episode, I showed you all the hubs and systems we're using to power our smart home. Now it's time to prepare for all your beautiful scenes and routines by programming and naming correctly on your smart home apps to avoid any issues in the future. At the end of the day, we've programmed our devices a specific way to avoid problems importing them into Alexa. It can get a little confusing, but if you have any questions, feel free to let me know in the comments. Let's start with the devices and groups that will sync with Alexa and give automatic voice commands. First, Philips Hue lights, scenes, rooms, and zones will all transfer over. So will your Logitech activities and SmartThings scenes. All your SmartThings devices will transfer over, including your Hue lights, which will cause doubled up devices. You'll need to go through your Alexa app and disable all the SmartThings Hue lights. Lutron lights transferred to Alexa from SmartThings will come in as switches. You'll want to switch these to lights, and I'll go into detail on why in just a bit. Lastly, SmartThings groups won't be discovered by Alexa. Before you sync all those devices to Alexa, here's how I suggest you name your devices to avoid any doubled or tripled up names. So, you just got your first Sonos speaker and you're putting it in the living room. A common mistake is to simply label it living room on the Sonos app. Stop right there. Don't do it. If I know anything, it's once you have one smart device, you're gonna want more. So give your future self some space by calling it living room speaker. Because why limit yourself? Next up, naming your Philips Hue lights. When it comes to naming our Hue lights, I have a few recommendations. If you have other smart bulbs or systems like Lutron in the same room, ultimately you'll want Alexa to be able to control the entire room. So, on the Hue app, we called our room Kitchen Accents, and on SmartThings, we called our Lutron lights Kitchen Main Lights, Kitchen Sink, and Kitchen Bar. That way we could include all our lights together in a group called Kitchen through Alexa. Now that you've got all your devices named clearly, you can import your devices into Alexa and create groups. Class dismissed. Except you, Daniel. Thank you, Mr. Tech. Now, one of my favorite things about Alexa is the ability to assign an Echo device to each room. That way you can control your lights or your speakers without calling out the name of the room, which really comes in handy for guests because odds are they don't know that this room's called JTHQ, which is short for Justin Tech Headquarters. Let me show you. Alexa, set lights to red. And there you go. Didn't have to call out the name of the room. Voila. I can also do this with music. I could tell Alexa to play jazz music. I could change the volume. And once you connect multiple Echo devices to your Alexa app, you can ask to play music everywhere, and Alexa will play the music via connected devices. You can also create a multi-room setup to control the volume and songs in each room. I'll explain how to do that in the next episode. You can also assign a TV to the room, but unfortunately right now you can't just say turn on the TV, you still need to name the room that it's in. I can only assume that you'll be able to do that in the near future. Right now, as you saw in the last episode, you can do it with the Fire TV. All right, you know what? I want to go to a secure location because I want to talk about security. Let's get out of here.
Justin? Justin? Justin?
Okay, now that we're alone, I could tell you all our secrets. But seriously, don't tell anyone. There are several ways to secure your smart home. One of them is Alexa Guard. When enabled, Alexa Guard can detect sounds like smoke and carbon monoxide alarms, as well as breaking glass, and send you smart alerts. It can also arm your Ring alarm system. Which brings me to Ring. We've got the Ring doorbell and cameras surrounding our house. What we love about the system is the ability to get alerts sent straight to our phones telling us if there's movement detected. Let me in. And we can check on our cameras from either the Brilliant switch, our phone, or an Echo device. So I can easily check in on Max in the backyard. He's a danger to himself. Alexa, show me backyard camera.
Okay.
Max, I'm over here. Oh. We've also installed the Ring alarm system. We have sensors on our windows and doors, as well as motion sensors around the home. We can easily arm the home right from our phones, or just ask Alexa. Alexa, arm the alarm.
Ring is armed in stay mode. You have 30 seconds to exit.
Thanks. And when I come home, Alexa, disarm the alarm.
What's your voice code for Ring?
1, 2, 3, 4.
Ring is disarmed.
Don't tell anyone. There's also a physical number pad where you can arm and disarm. Oh, and it looks like we have a very important message from Justin in Justin Tech Headquarters. Go ahead. Yes, Justin, I wanted to inform you and your viewers that there is a second generation of the Ring alarm system. You're currently using the older alarm system, so all that footage is now outdated. So please let your viewers know that they should look for the second generation of the Ring alarm system. Thank you. Oh, thank you, Justin. That's technology for you. As soon as you install it, there's a brand new version. Anyway, another system we're using is Connected. Toby and I were looking for a way to incorporate his wired alarm system into the smart home, and Connected was the solution. Connected is an alarm board that allows you to connect up to 12 zones of windows and door sensors to SmartThings, allowing you to use SmartThings home monitor system as your alarm. You'll also be able to use your other smart home motion sensors and smoke detectors with the system. Installing Connected wasn't simple. In fact, Connected has a bunch of installation videos on YouTube and directions on their website to help guide you. If you're not the type of person who likes DIY, then I'd say hire a technician to do it for you, because there is some programming and involved wiring. But once you get it down, it's mostly repetition. Alone, SmartThings and Connected can't call 911. So that's why Connected has teamed up with Noonlight to do just that. Noonlight is a full-service emergency response system that acts as a switch on SmartThings. When this switch is activated by one of your sensors, Noonlight will immediately text and call you. If you're unable to provide them with the 4-digit code, they'll send first responders to your home. And because Noonlight is a switch, you could ask your voice assistant to turn it on. With Noonlight, you also have a personal security system on the go. So if you're feeling unsafe, press and hold the button on the app, and when you let go, if you don't input your code, they'll call for help to your exact location.
At the moment, this service is only available in the US. We also realized after the fact that Ring also has a wired alarm system solution. This system can connect up to 8 zones and all works through the Ring ecosystem. We have 10 zones, so connected still works best for us. The last device I want to show you today is the Blink Mini. This little camera packs a punch with 1080p video, motion detection, and two-way audio that all let you monitor your home during day or night. You can schedule Blink to arm and disarm at different times. When armed, the app will send you a notification when motion is detected.
Oh, it looks like I just got one right here. Let's see what it is. Max, I'm over here.
Did you know that the stove has Wi-Fi?
For now, that's all I've got on security, but stay tuned. In our last episode, I'll show you all the gadgets and locks we're using to grant visitors access to our home.
Holy smokes, that was a packed episode, and guess what? This series isn't even halfway over. So stay tuned for another episode of my Tush series. What? Yeah, the ultimate smart home series, where I'll show you how to introduce and take full advantage of your Echo devices for all your voice assistant needs. Make sure you subscribe to my channel and click that bell for alerts so you don't miss when a video goes live. Also, if you learned something new today or enjoyed the video, why don't you give me a cute like? Until next week, I'm Justin, and I'll tech you later. If you're not the type of person who likes DIY, then I'd say handy a Heinderman. That's the one.